India to the cup. That who better to tell me that than Sourav Ganguly? Sourav, has it now, is there a thing that even the top cricketers somewhere lose it in the mind that when India plays Pakistan, the Pakistanis are going into the match either with too much pressure or a lack of self-belief?
No, I think you could have said that pressure bit till about 2003 when Pakistan were a top side. But since then, I don't think it's about pressure. It's about the difference in the quality of two teams. And after the greats like Saeed Anwar, Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, Inzamam ul Haq, Ijaz Ahmed, all these people finished, Moin Khan, Yusuf Yohana, all these finished players stopped playing for Pakistan. They've never been the side which could beat India. They never had the potential. And when you look at this team today, you've been a part of a cricket family. You know this game very well. You love this game. And when you see this team, you will tell yourself within your heart that no, this team is not good enough to beat India. So it's a bit more than the mind at this stage. It's about quality. As I said, it was mind in the past, but not anymore. And I think unless and until Pakistan get better in terms of their side, they will find it very, very difficult to beat India. What coincidentally has happened for Pakistan also, which I would just give them a benefit of doubt, that in most of these World Cup games, if you see from 1992, except the 2003 World Cup game, they've always batted second. Yeah. They've been chasing the big totals of India and have finished on the losing side and finished second. So you can say they're a bit unlucky from that point of view, because moment India won the toss today, I was sitting with Wasim and I said the game's over, and I think Pakistan will find it very, very difficult to beat India unless they get India 40 for 5 or 50 for 4 and put pressure on them. So it's just a difference in the ability of two sides.
Right. You put the point of ability, and Boria, wear your hat as a cricket historian. Is there anyone you see in this team who would make the great Pakistani team? Anyone, not even a Misbah ul Haq. Really, would he make a middle order which had a Yusuf Yohana or an Inzamam ul Haq, or in an earlier generation a Salim Malik, Javed Miandad, Ijaz Ahmed? Do you really believe that there is anyone in this Pakistan team who can really be called a match winner?
Shahid Afridi. I mean, Shahid Afridi at his best definitely makes a quality Pakistan side. Except a Shahid Afridi, no one. I mean, now Shahid Afridi's batting is not the Shahid Afridi of old. His bowling has improved over the years, Rajdeep, but not his batting. So yes, one of the 11 I would say would make the top Pakistan team, maybe the 1992 side or the side that consistently beat India in Sharjah. So definitely one, but beyond that, Misbah, no. Ahmed Shahzad, no. Rest of the others, Sohail Khan took 5 wickets, but that's a freakish performance. Wahab Rihaz took 5 in 2011. In that bowling lineup, Mohammad Irfan is their peak bowler. Does he compare to a Shoaib Akhtar, Waqar Younis, Wasim Akram? Absolutely not. So my answer, only one player, Shahid Afridi.
I beg to differ with Boria a little bit, and I don't even agree with Shahid Afridi at this stage. I think
office.
Yeah, I don't think Shahid Afridi, it's not the Afridi of the old. Shahid Afridi plays for Pakistan because Pakistan is a weak team. If this Pakistan team, if it was the Pakistan team of the past, Shahid Afridi with his abilities here wouldn't have played for Pakistan. I think I would just beg to differ. The only man who actually can qualify at this stage is Misbah ul Haq, and he could probably play for Younis Khan of that team where Younis batted at 6 or 7 at times. So if you take that Pakistan team of the old, Saeed Anwar, Amir Sohail, number 3 would be Yusuf Yohana, number 4 Inzamam ul Haq, and then number 5 I would have Misbah ul Haq, because Misbah ul Haq may be 40 years of age at the moment, but I think his game has improved rapidly in the last 1 year. When he came, and Harbhajan would agree to it, that he was susceptible to the short delivery. He was little behind against genuine pace, but I think he's improved. He's one player whose age hasn't caught up yet. Maybe it will in the next 1 or 2 years, but at the present moment it hasn't caught up, and I think he's the only player who would fit into this Pakistan team.
Why we focus on the Pakistani? Shivani, give us a sense of the Indian team. Give us that. I think viewers need to look at all the highlights from an Indian perspective, because while we are focusing on just how bad the Pakistanis have been today, the Indians were exceptional.
That's right. The good thing is that this win didn't come just because Pakistan played badly. We batted first, we won the toss, we put 300 runs on the board. Let's just take a look at the scorecard of this match, final confirmations, and that batting lineup and both the bowling columns too are going to give Indian fans hope that this team is actually good enough to go ahead and perhaps give a run to their money to teams like Australia, South Africa, and even teams like New Zealand. Interestingly, sixth win in a World Cup against Pakistan, but by the biggest margin yet, which is 76 runs. Perhaps that shows the gap that Sourav is talking about in Pakistan's quality. And I'd also like to mention, Rajdeep, statistically, this is only the second most one-sided rivalry in World Cup history. Pakistan is involved in the top one. They have a 7-0 record against Sri Lanka in World Cups, but against India, they're 0-6.
You know, look at the scorecard, Nikhil. Virat Kohli scores 100. Suresh Raina, was that a standout inning? Are we not giving enough credit to that inning? Because he brought the momentum. Virat scored 107, I think, in 121 balls. Suresh Raina scored 74 of just about 50 odd balls. So was that, you know, he went into bat at a stage when we could have scored maybe 330. We floundered in the last 5 overs. But that was an important innings from Suresh Raina. He's one of those key players. And Dhawan, top order, scores 73 when he's not been in form.
Well, I guess, you know, Shikhar Dhawan getting runs right at the top, and that one partnership between Virat Kohli and Shikhar Dhawan set that platform for people in the middle order. You know, people like Suresh Raina to come and just play their game. Had that partnership not been there, things would have got difficult. But I think the Pakistani side also helped Suresh Raina, because when he came out to bat, the spinners were brought on, and he spent some time out there in the middle. Getting those 10-15 runs is all what you want at international level, Rajdeep. Once you get used to the pace and bounce off the track, you can go out there and play your shots. You know, the interesting thing is, I must confess, I was having a massage this morning when along comes Virat Kohli to join Shikhar Dhawan, and my Masia Hari Om tells me, सर ये दोनों आज बहुत बढ़िया खेलेंगे क्योंकि ये दिल्ली वाले हैं, पंजाबी खून इनमें है, पंजाबी खून पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ always run करता है. And he was absolutely right. So maybe Hari Om, we should bring you as an analyst next time. So next time when India is playing, we know if Rajdeep is not answering his phone, he's getting a massage. It's not that. But you know, Sourav.
Between.
Sorry?
No, I want to come in between, Rajdeep.
Why?
I'm coming in between. I have to stop you. Now imagine what I have to stop you. What a life you have, you know. We are working from 10 in the morning to get the headlines to today's show going, to Aaj Tak show going. And my boss, Rajdeep Sardesai, who we all love, is having a massage and watching an India-Pakistan game.
No, but that's the way to be.
Can we just exchange our lives for the next 1 year?
No, I will come
ready to do your job if you can do mine.
No, I will come to Adelaide and you can come here. But you know, look, there's one question that I've got to both of you, which is of Shikhar Dhawan. You know, there's been a lot of questions over his batting in this in Australia. Struggled till now, but he came good in the in a trial match the other day, and today looked very good. Do you believe that's another critical element? Because in a World Cup with 2 new balls, your openers need to give you that platform.
See, it's the surface which has made life a bit easier for Shikhar Dhawan. If you see the game against Australia, in that warm-up game, he got a good 70. But before that, when he went to Brisbane, when he went to Perth, when it was in Melbourne, with a little bit of pace and bounce, he looked a little bit out of sorts. So the question mark regarding Shikhar Dhawan is not answered. Yes, he's played well for us in a big game, in a game which involved Pakistan in Adelaide. But comes South Africa in Melbourne, where there is a bit of pace and bounce, because India will not come back to Adelaide anymore. They go from Melbourne to Perth, and then Perth to New Zealand, where the wickets will be a lot different. So that question mark will probably still remain, and we will only get an answer if he gets runs against South Africa as an opener on the pace and bounce of Melbourne. So we'll wait for him. But at the present moment, I think Virat Kohli has been the outstanding performer for India.
Boria, you've been speaking. Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan now, with some runs behind his belt, you know.
You've been speaking to the team.
You know, I think Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan are an important cog in this Indian wheel. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't think it'll be Virat Kohli alone. Virat Kohli alone or Suresh Raina alone can win you the World Cup. It has to be the openers. Rohit today failed, but Rohit is an exceptional one-day form. And I've been predicting this can be Rohit Sharma's World Cup. So if Shikhar Dhawan can join the party like he did today, even if he's not consistent enough, just sort of plays 3-4 good innings, that Indian batting lineup 1 to 6, 3 people put their hand up. This Indian side has an exceptional batting lineup to chase any total down. That for me is the key. But definitely, the openers will have to come to the party. I expect Rohit to do that in Melbourne.
And Shivani, before you take that question, just to our viewers, we scored this 300 runs without Rahane coming in till number 8. The fact is Ajinkya Rahane, to me, I know Boria's batting for Rohit Sharma. I believe Ajinkya Rahane in those big games, when you play South Africa, when you play New Zealand, when you play in Australia, could be a critical player. But go ahead,
But he
Shivani.
was demoted today down the playing of the
Which I have
batting
a
order.
problem with. I have a huge
Dhoni
problem
came
with.
earlier and Raina and so on forth. But Sourav, you talked about Mohammad Shami impressing you a lot, and you've been critical of him in the past on headlines today, almost egging him on to do what he needs to do right. But what about Umesh Yadav? He picked up 2 wickets at crucial times. And how crucial do you think he's going to be for India going forward? Is he maturing? Is it too early to say that?
No, of course it's early to say that because I think this Pakistan team is weak. But I think India have got an answer for Umesh Yadav today. And I think he should be given not the new ball, but he should come and bowl one change. Mohit Sharma did well. I think Mohit Sharma is a new ball bowler because he's slightly slower than Umesh Yadav. So India have got an answer with their pace battery today. Mohammad Shami and Mohit Sharma with the new ball and Umesh Yadav one change. So that's a good thing which they have found out. But to pass a judgment on Umesh Yadav, we will have to see how he reacts to pressure against sides which have good batting lineup like South Africa. He didn't react very well to pressure against Australia, didn't react very well to pressure against England, who actually play fast bowling well. But come South Africa next Sunday, we'll find out whether Umesh Yadav can take us through as the third seamer in this World Cup. So the questions with Shikhar Dhawan, the questions with Umesh Yadav will remain unanswered till a couple of games pass by.
Senthil from Chennai is asking Nikhil, is this Indian bowling showing that it's now good enough to help us win the World Cup? Is that still an open question despite our win today? Or do you believe there were some signs, Ashwin, Jadeja, Shami and Umesh Yadav and Mohit Sharma also coming in and, with a very good slower ball in the death overs. Do you get a sense that maybe, just maybe, we are hitting the right balance in our bowling?
Well, I guess in terms of Team India batting first and getting 300 runs or more than 300 runs on board, of course, the bowling is going to look good. But each time Team India, if they're bowling first, Rajdeep, that's when the acid test is going to be. We've seen in the last, 6-8 months, the number of games we've played, especially the last 10 overs, it's hurt. But it was good to see at least the spinners coming good. I was pretty happy to see Ashwin bowl at the pace that he was bowling. Because of
slower.
Absolutely, because of the kind of tracks that you have. The quicker you bowl, the quicker the ball's going to get onto the bat and it'll get easier for the batsman. So I was glad the preparation and the execution by the spinners were pretty good.
Okay, now we cannot give Sourav a massage in Adelaide, but I'm going to give you and Boria something else to feel good about. Big question, of course, then is how far can this Indian team go? Yes, we won this big match, but is this a platform that we can use now to win the World Cup? That's, of course, what all of you are asking. I'm getting a question now from Ratan who asked me, is this Indian team good enough to win the World Cup? Or was it simply a case of Pakistan not being good enough? I think we've discussed Pakistan not being good enough, but how good are we is the question. We filled a lot of the blanks in the team, a lot of the crisis areas, Sourav and Boria today, the opening spot, for example. But I'm just wondering, is there a weakness in our team that you saw today? Anything that you saw which we need to work on? Perhaps the manner in which we played those last 5 overs, 45 to 50, were we not hitting over the top as effectively as we normally do? Is that worrying you, Dhoni's form in particular, Sourav?
Yeah, Dhoni's form's a worry, there's no doubt about it. And I think what adds to Dhoni's form is also that at times he bats too lower down the order. I've been harping that for last 4 or 5 years, that Dhoni should bat higher up the order. But that's not going to happen, so let's not talk about it. Dhoni has got to make the most of what he gets in whatever situation he walks out to bat. The last 5 overs today, I thought Pakistan were exceptional. Wahab Riaz is bowling at 150. There was a delivery which he bowled at 154, 155. So you got to give credit with the way Wahab Riaz and the other fast bowler who was making his first debut against India bowled. So you got to give credit to Pakistan, otherwise India would have been 330. Now your third question, whether these are signs enough to say that India could go on to win the World Cup. Even before the World Cup started, we believe that India had the team to go on to win the World Cup, but they have to raise their bar and raise their level of the game, which was not the case in those last 2.5 months against Australia. And I say that this game is not a yardstick for India to get to the World Cup final and then win it. Maybe if they play well against South Africa, we can say that we are slowly getting to our best, but I don't consider this game as a yardstick for us to justify whether we would go to the finals and win it from there. But overall, before the start of the World Cup, I said that India has the ability to go till the end because they will not be playing Australia all the time. Last 2 months, they've only played Australia, who are just outstanding in these conditions, and they've been battered and beaten by a side which is just good at their home soil. Imagine teams playing India at their backyard and India winning most of the time. So I think we have the team, but this is not the yardstick yet to say whether we'll go the distance or not.
Let me add to that, Rajiv.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I think is now we are more or less sure to be in the top 2 of the pool. I'm more or less confident that India will finish either 1 or 2. So we've made the quarterfinal. I don't see Zimbabwe, UAE or Ireland troubling us. So effectively, if you make the top 2, you avoid Australia and New Zealand. So you will play either England or Sri Lanka. That makes me confident that we'll go to the semi-final. Then it's anybody's game. A Virat Kohli individual brilliance can get you to the final. So I think this is a crucial match in the sense that it will determine India's positioning in that pool, and you will be almost there in the semi-finals. So then it's anybody's party. I will still say it's Australia 1, South Africa 2, New Zealand 3, but I will put India at number 4.
And the good news for you, Sourav Ganguly, is that if India reaches the semi-final, I've been promised that I can come to Australia. Then no massages, more hard work. So that's going to happen only if India reaches the semi-final. So you better hope that India reaches the semi-final.
I've got one more request to you, Rajdeep.
Yes,
Bring
my
the
friend.
masseur over.
You want the masseur over?
See, you start headlines today. You've got no. Hold on. You switch on to headlines today. You get Sourav Ganguly, who's a Bengali. You get Boria Mozumdar, who's a Bengali. You get Rajdeep Sardesai, who's more Bengali than both of us because the wives are Bengali, and when wives are Bengali, the husband becomes more Bengali than anybody else. So why Bhangra? Why can't we have some good Bengali music, Rabindra Sangeet, when India wins on headlines?
Okay,
today?
so if we beat South Africa, we'll have Rabindra Sangeet. If we beat South Africa, we'll have Rabindra Sangeet.